Hello and welcome back to Lord of Heroes News here on Nyris Gaming. We have another new featured summon upcoming, as well as a few things added. Let us get into it. The next update will be on January 22nd, next Wednesday. The new featured summon hero is going to be Earth Baretta. She is a sniper, and she is absurdly good. We will get into that later. She will be available from the 22nd to March 1st, and Water Rosanna, who is a water commander, will be added to the Link Summon banner. I don't entirely remember what all she does, if I'm being honest. I think she's pretty decent. Our balance updates this time are very straightforward. Fire Johann, Light Mei Ling, and that's it. Light Mei Ling's active is still going to attack all enemies and grant regeneration to all allies for 2 turns, but it is going to have an 80 to 100% chance based on level to reduce the speed of each target respectively by 2 turns, and the cooldown is going down from 5 turns down to 4. That is particularly important in conjunction with her burst now, which attacks all enemies, has a 70% chance to inflict 3 stacks of sap respectively for 1 turn, so is a decent sapping ability. Deals 60% more damage for every light ally on the field, up to a max of 300, so 5, and reduces the skill cooldown of the user by 2 turns, and gains an extra turn. More than 1 cannot be gained in a row, so you can fire off her active, fire off her burst next turn, and then immediately fire off her active again. As a light sniper, this will allow her to produce a solid amount of burst gauge. Next up is Fire Johann, who is a fire cleric, more of an attack-based battle cleric, is active, which attacks all enemies and heals all allies based on the damage dealt, also increases the crit rate and crit damage of all allies for 2 turns, will now also shield all allies based on the user's attack for 2 turns, 3 turns if they are fire, so he is becoming yet another shielder cleric. Shielding is absurdly important in this game, except for the points where there are enemies that straight up ignore them, just kind of seeming like every single cleric has shields in some regards. It's getting kind of samey. His burst, which attacks a single target and grants him fortitude for 1 turn, will now also increase his attack by 40 or 50% based on level if the attack is a crit, stacking up to 4 times, so total will give him a 200% attack increase. He is currently not doing terribly much damage, so this should probably put him in line with a good sub DPS. This also deals 300% more damage against earth enemies. Not only that, but his refined relic is getting an addition of speed from 10 up to 30 based on the relic level, and his divine relic is getting an additional 50 to 80% chance to reduce the skill cooldown by 1 turn, so he can fire off his healing too even more frequently, which I'm pretty sure is his only healing ability other than his one giving regeneration, so he can actually do his cleric duties more effectively, and on top of that, shield more frequently. The beginning of the year fortune cookie event is now going to be a dungeon in a similar manner to the outfit event dungeons that we've been getting. It's a bit more straightforward. There's only 3 things to go for now instead of every single character that has an outfit. This will be running from January 22nd to February 6th, and once you have completed the 5 tasks per type of fortune, you will be rewarded with 5 Mystic Soul Stones. One thing to note in the adjustments and bug fixes is there's going to be a purchasable 30k energy pack for 10,000 Alliance credits in the Alliance shop now, so you don't have to go through individually and buy those random boxes, which I believe are 2,000 to 5,000 at random. With all of that done, let's look at our new Earth Sniper. Here is Earth Baretta, our new sniper. She is going to be doing probably a decent amount of damage on top of providing immense amounts of utility, and on top of that, she has very durable health and defense stats, above average speed, and pretty decent attack at level 70. Her 1 is going to be a single target attack that fills the action gauge of all allies by 10%, and 50-50 chance for luck to kick in and fill the action gauge of all Earth allies by an additional 10 up to 20%. She is very much an action gauge booster. Her 2, which has a 4-turn cooldown going all the way down to 2 turns based on level, will fill the action gauge of all allies by 30 to 40% and have an 80 to 100% chance based on level to reduce the defense of each enemy respectively for 2 turns. It's not even elementally specific, so we have another action gauge booster with 100% chance of AOE defense down. Not only that, but as far as I know, the only AOE defense down that Earth has access to currently is Earth Ondel using his Divine Relic, so we're finally branching out and having options. Not only that, but it has an 80% chance for luck to kick in and increase the critical hit damage of the user by 50%, stacking up to 3 times. So she will ramp up her damage to maximum within a maximum of 6 turns, unless you're using someone like Waterlin or Earth Fram, in which case it'll only take 3 turns, because she will be able to fire this off every turn with their cooldown reduction. Now her burst is very interesting. It is a a spirit cost of 3, going down to 2 based on levels. It is a single target attack that deals 400% more damage when there is one enemy on the field, so good for the Alliance raid and bosses. She gains an extra turn. More than one extra turn cannot be gained in a row. 100% chance to inflict Thorny Vines and expose weakness on the target for 2 turns. Thorny Vines is new, and that is only if they are water elemental. The effectiveness of Thorny Vines increases for every earth elemental ally on the field up to a maximum of 5. Thorny Vines is the Frostbite / Scald for earth elemental characters. It will increase the damage taken by earth elemental enemies by 7% on the target that has this debuff, stacking up to 35% based on that earth ally team stated in her burst. And then on top of that, having elemental weakness access, I don't believe Earth really had access to that very much. So Earth Baretta is bringing everything, opening a lot of doors, being a very good option, providing burst gauge, doing a decent bit of damage herself, and being an action gauge booster. Just another massively overloaded character who will probably see a lot of use. Passives are going to be attack and increase damage against water enemies. Basic relic is going to be debuff rate. Refined is going to have a chance to grant her reflect for 1 turn upon attacking. And divine is going to increase the damage dealt against water enemies by upwards of 60%. And give a chance to trigger Flurry 1 time upon attacking, which will fire off her 1 and provide even more action gauge boosting. So your team is likely going to be going very fast with the Divine Relic on top of everything else she does. That is going to do it for Lord of Heroes news today on Nyris Gaming for our mid-month update. Let me know what you think about Earth Baretta down in the comments. Like if you liked, and subscribe for more in the future, and I shall see you in the next one.